Christmas?
Okay, so my mom, like every year since my nieces were babies, has stayed overnight with my at my brother's house for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Right? They're teenagers now. It's a tradition every year.
Okay.
So my mom was kind of like not feeling it this year a little bit, but by the time she got to Christmas dinner and everybody's together, she's gonna do it. But then the alarm goes off on her phone for medications at 8:00 at night, right?
Okay.
So instantly, just the room sinks. Oh, she has to go home. It's this big thing. She's done drinking now and needs to get sober because she needs to go home. So I'm just like, guys, I haven't had anything to drink because I can't. So I can drive 5 minutes from my brother's place to my mom's place to go get medication. And they're like, really? You'll do that? It's like, guys, I've literally never had an opportunity to save Christmas before in my life. So I go over. I said 5 minutes there, 5 minutes back. I'm back. And I have saved Christmas. I mean, when people think of the reason for the season, they will think of my name. Like the war on Christmas was won for the Allies. So I'm telling the story at work. And one of the guys at work lives a couple hours away. And I let him leave a couple hours like early on Christmas Eve. So you get ahead of the traffic, that kind of thing. Well, a snowstorm rolls through. The interstate was closed. So I saved Christmas twice by letting him leave work early. And that's when I decided we got to have a Hallmark movie made of how I saved Christmas.
I think you deserve it. You know what? I'm so impressed with you that I'm going to take a sip of Wild Irish Rose in honor of you saving Christmas.
Well, we went further. We already cast the role of AJ.
Okay.
To be played by Mario Lopez.
Oh.
Obviously.
The prick who hosts Access Hollywood.
Hey, everyone. Here we go. Wild Irish Rose Red in honor of AJ saving Christmas. Bottoms up.
Bum wine.
How was that?
So good.
Let's give you a second to process.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping. I like that. You're a jabroni.
Still dancing. Kids dance.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the annual Bum Wine Extravaganza. Don't forget to use our code BUMJabroni on bumwine.com to save 5%. You're already cheap alcohol.
Your cheap alcohol just got cheaper.
Cheap alcohol just got cheaper. I don't have watermelon smash, but I do have watermelon MD 2020 to partake in tonight.
It's electric.
It's electric melon.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
Got the Tower of Terror hat on because that's what I wore last year for this episode. And we're going to discuss our top 10 favorite movies of the year.
And I once again went with the blue raspberry, but this year it's bigger. It's bigger.
Guys, I'm scared.
Bigger and better.
Bigger and better.
AJ,
I also...
I'm just going to say, I'm really happy to save Christmas, but I will not drinking that again.
So for every $10 donation to streamlabs.com/whattheshow/chip, Bethany will drink Wild Irish Rose.
That's for a good cause.
I will also be drinking something raspberry flavored. Here we have some self-made bum wine with an old bottle of wine lying around. We've got some vodka in here, and I forgot to say when I mentioned the fact that there's raspberry extract in here, the raspberry extract bottle is about 5 years old. It was open upon arrival, so it's been open for 5 years. But the date on the back said expires October 2023.
No.
However, I think that it probably just means if you hadn't opened it yet.
Guys,
And some zero sugar Sprite. So we'll probably take about 3-6 sips of this, pass out, and then go back and just drink a normal gin and tonic.
I'm so jealous of you guys.
Xbox drinking some bum wine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, I was at Christmas and my brother like had a deal of eggnog and was like, "Can I taste that?" And he said, "Don't tell mom."
Now should I crack open this electric melon? Oh god, I'm scared.
Electric melon. The first taste.
I can't open any of these bottles.
Electric Melon Avenue. Nope.
There's probably so much sugar.
Already. Electric Melon Avenue. The extra slow.
Mine's got the bling bling on it.
I know. Why don't I have bling bling?
It's good. Nope all over this.
Mmm. So good. Oh.
Is it better?
Delicious. Gotta be better than whatever you're drinking, though, Juice.
All right.
Bun juice.
Yours is FDA approved.
So we're just going to do around the line. True. That's true. We start with juice and go around.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So let's see how wildly different our top 10 lists of the year 2023 are.
Yeah.
Bethany and I did make sure to watch one last-minute movie today, and it did not make the list.
No, not even an honorable mention. I mean, lovely performances, but I did no.
I watched 3 today and got 1 on.
Okay.
And one I was hoping would make it and did not make it.
Ooh.
I watched 2 movies in the last week. They're both on there.
Nice.
You've seen about, 8 movies for your top 10 this year, AJ?
Yeah, I left 2 things off.
I feel like I have a lot of honorable mentions this year. It was a good, there were some duds, but there was also some really quality films this year.
Yeah, there were some movies that, this year that I would say, my least favorite thing a movie can be is forgettable. And there were quite a few this year that, I look back oh, crap, we saw that.
Would you have electric melon?
All right, just get us going.
So let me continuing the preface. So I've seen 26 movies this year. I have seen 18 of those movies in the last 9 days.
Wow.
Holy moly, Juice.
Only 2 movies in my top 10 had I seen pre-December.
Okay.
Damn.
So one movie that I did watch this year, or this month, I should say, one of the first ones of my run, is one that I forgot to put on my top 10 box office prediction list. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, all right.
Indiana Jones style listing makes the top 10. Anybody have it higher?
No.
Anybody?
It's not on my list.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty good.
It was definitely a lot better than Crystal Skull. Hells yeah.
Yeah. They kill off Muggsy or whatever his name is.
Spoilers.
Shia LaBeouf.
It's off screen.
I don't think that's his name.
Well, it is now. Mutt. It's Mutt.
It's Mutt.
Oh, Mutt.
Not Mutty.
Whatever. Whatever.
Muggsy died on the way back to his home planet.
That pretty much.
But no, I thought it was pretty charming. It definitely a little too long, but could have been shorter. But it did. Despite that, I thought it was still paced pretty well. And I told my dad over Christmas, he's like, "What? Like, how could they do a movie with old Harrison Ford?" I'm like, it kind of make it work. They make the action just enough, not too crazy that it's slightly believable. But
yeah.
I don't know. So it was all right.
It was enjoyable. I feel like maybe a little long.
It was. I felt the runtime on that one. And I don't think I felt it in the beginning of the movie. I felt the beginning moved pretty quick.
Yeah.
But the ending kind of dragged for me.
The slogan of 2023.
They killed off Shia.
Bethany, I have bad news.
A
Jake Yacovetta has hit the Streamlabs.
No! Oh gosh. Well, I take a sip of this wild Irish rose, can we please tell the fine people of the internet what this is going to?
Well, first of all, Jake Yakavetta donated $10, saying specifically, "Drink some more wild rose there, Bethany."
Thanks, Jake.
Hey, Bethany.
Jake, why did you
Irish rose.
Hey, that's without any smoke.
Okay, so
I love you, Jake.
we're still in December, so we're still
Yes.
the same thing,
sure.
right? So yeah, so still going towards a friend, former coworker of mine that had some of her apartment burned down, and her daughter set up a GoFundMe for her. So just helping out somebody that I know in their time of need. So Christmas spirit.
Also,
Thank you, Jake. I mean, curse you, but thank you for donating to a good cause.
Also, and this is amazing. So I make the donations out from like our totals from the show. I've been donating to this this GoFundMe. They have no idea who I am. I've done 3 separate. This will be my 3rd separate donation. This is chaotic good at its
That's
best.
chaotic
Yeah,
good.
it's chaotic
I have
good.
no idea who the hell
Yeah.
this is, but they're giving us some money, so we appreciate it. Do you want to take a sip of this electric melon?
I don't like watermelon.
You're not gonna like this.
I love watermelon. I'm so. Can I have a sip?
He doesn't hate it.
I don't hate it.
You want
It's for-
switch?
You want?
There you go. Take a sip.
I can't have salt.
We'll share.
Oh, that's right. It's not salt; it's sodium chloride or whatever.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, you're up, Bethany.
I'm up to bat. Okay. Also, yeah, to preface this, I'm not saying that this is a list of the best movies of the year, although I think some of them were the best. But this is a list of my favorite movies of the year, right? Okay. So, my first one, I was gonna get punted because I know that at least someone here has it higher on their list. But my first one was Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, punt.
Yep.
That's my 11.
We'll talk about it when it comes.
Good.
So I decided to do my list a hair differently this year. The way I picked, because number 10 was tough for me because I had like 5 or 6 movies that I was like toying with. My first 9 I got real easy. I breezed through them. So I decided, like, which one of these movies am I most likely on any given day to just say, I want to watch this right now? So that's basically the basis of my list is in the order of what am I most likely to want to rewatch. So number 10, fuck it. It's going in over some of these awards movies that are in my honorable mentions. I'm going to, at some point or another, probably in the next week, rewatch fucking Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
Cocaine Bear, baby.
That was what I watched today for the first time. I watched it today. It didn't make the
Yeah.
list, unfortunately. But
Here's my thing with Cocaine Bear. That movie understood the assignment. Like, this is supposed to be a batshit movie about a bear who had cocaine, and that's what I got out of it. This was truth in advertising. It was dumb. It was silly. It was fun. And I'll go over my honorable mentions in a little bit, later on. When I looked at all the movies I had considered, there was only one other one that I put in the same category of like, ooh, I'd want to watch that over the other ones. But Cocaine Bear was just, a perfect Mike Deacon movie. So it had to make my list.
nice.
Yo, what they did to character actress Margot Martindale was amazing.
It barely missed on Juice's list. Also, William, Kings of the North, Go Lions. All right, sorry, just had to say that.
I'm getting warm.
Alrighty,
Oh,
it's already hitting. All right, AJ, what's your number 10?
I'm gonna look at Mike Stranger while I say this. Evil Dead Rise.
Okay. Not on my list.
Nope. Oh,
Not on
okay.
my list. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. I had so much fun with it. It felt like Evil Dead again. The 2013 one missed the humor. This had the humor element that was present while still being scary. The change of scenery was amazing. It was goofy, kind of comedy of errors shit, and also kind of pulled the heartstrings and fucking. It was bloody as hell. Evil Dead Rise rules.
They've gotten like, I think that's partially why I don't have an affinity towards a lot of these movies where like you're seeing people get mutilated, like your Saws and all of them. So that's partially why, like, I love the original Evil Dead, so I don't have the affinity for the newer ones.
I got you.
But yeah, I like the choice. Are
Yeah.
we gonna go? Are we gonna snake, or are we gonna go just in order?
Probably just in order.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're up.
All right.
I don't know.
So
Do
back
we
to you,
usually
Juice?
snake?
I don't think I'm
I think we
these.
have. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with what was number one on my list for about 8 months of the year because I had only watched 4 movies. So I thought I'd leave it just because it was pretty fun. Kind of. And that's Tetris.
Oh, good choice.
That was a good movie.
I looked that
was
up
a
my
good
honorable
movie.
mention, but that should have been on my honorable mention list. That's a good choice.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, just a good kind of thriller that keeps you engaged. And I watched Air, which is not on my list. I don't know if it's on somebody else's list, but I watched those two on the same day, and they're essentially the same movie in a completely
Similar.
different type. But Tetris definitely spoke to me a little bit more as a big, obviously, 80s video game fan and everything. So just cool. You didn't know that story, and I'm glad that movie was made to tell that story.
Crazy story, honestly. That was
involved the
that
car
was really
chase.
interesting.
It didn't really.
That car chase is so good, though. Taron Egerton, too. I could just watch and be excited about stuff for hours.
Yeah.
All right. B, you are up for your number 9.
I am. Hold on. Sorry, everyone. I'm texting my mother real quick.
I mean, I'd say my number 9, but I know it's getting punted.
My number 9. I know this one is not getting punted because I will be amazed if this is on any of your lists. Again, I would like to clarify if this is just my favorite films of the year, okay, and not best. It's not the highest quality film, but I'm a big fan of the book. I was very excited for the movie to come out. The movie did not disappoint. I don't know what the fuck Uma Thurman is doing with her accent, but it's not Texas. Anyways, Red, White, and Royal Blue, super cute, nice, happy, heartwarming, romantic comedy. I really enjoyed it. That's all I gotta say about that.
It's on my list of backlog.
Your list
I
of what?
really want to watch it.
Gotcha.
Backlog, yeah. So
it's very cute. It's a good. And New Year's Eve is coming up. I would say it's a good New Year's movie to watch.
What's it called? I'll let my
Red, White, and Royal Blue. It's very cute.
Netflix.
Amazon Prime.
Did you mention a prestige actor doing a silly voice?
A prestige actor did a silly voice. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know what movie she was in. There was a couple scenes she did okay in, but most of the movie I was like, what is Uma Thurman doing? She's a good actress. I don't know what's happening here.
I know my next one is getting punted, so I'll just drink some Wild Irish Rose, but my number 9 was Barbie.
Punt.
Okay, my number 9, The Killer.
Ooh, I saw that. I saw it. Not on the list, but
I don't even know if I know what this movie is.
The Fincher movie.
Got you. Yeah.
When I realized it was a comedy, holy shit! He goes through all this precision, like how he's such a great assassin, monologuing for 8 minutes, and then he misses the damn shot. I'm like, holy shit! I'm down for whatever this movie is, and it did not disappoint. I love just talking about how he's so cold and emotionless. The dude listens to the fucking Smiths all day long. It's so great. It's shot beautifully. It is a beautiful looking movie. Yeah, I will watch it again for personal enjoyment.
Okay.
I'll
watch that one.
To clarify for Lego, what punt means, at least in this circumstance, is that someone has it high on their list, so we're gonna wait until they.
It's at its highest point. So I had Barbie at number
it.
9. Whoever has Barbie highest on the list, that's when we'll talk about it.
It's a top 10 thing. It's a John Roca thing. Blame John Roca.
Yeah, we're doing something that Roca encouraged.
I enjoy this concept though.
Or Matt Nost. Maybe it was a Matt Nost.
We don't say that name anymore.
He was right for that.
But with Matt Nost, Matt Nost is delightful. It was a Matt Nost thing.
Yeah. Matt Nost is
Hey, Bethany.
Yeah.
A second Jake Yakoveta has hit the Streamlabs.
Why do you hate me, Jake Yakoveta?
I'll do it too with
Jake saying, I think we know how the team is going to go until that bottle's gone.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
My coworker will be able to buy a new house.
You know what? I'll feel good about that at least. I won't feel good about this drink, but
Chaotic good.
Juice. Is it your turn?
Yes,
Right? What
it's
are we on?
Juice.
8.
I'm going with something I think is going to get punted. The Holdovers is my 8.
Punt.
Nice.
Haven't seen it.
I was hoping.
That means it's me. I don't think this will get. What did I have? I don't think this will get punted. But at number 8, coming in at number 8, I have American Fiction, which we
This is
saw.
an honorable mention for me.
We saw as a surprise movie. I mean, Film Twitter kind of figured out that it was going to be that.
And it then never played at our theater. So we're lucky we went to that.
The cast is phenomenal.
Jeffrey
trailer,
Wright.
Jeffrey Wright is seriously. Let Jeffrey Wright more things.
Get him
he's so
nominated.
good.
He's not my favorite of the year, but get him nominated.
He's so damn good. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Wow, that stress is kicking in already, y'all. The trailer is a little misleading. It is a comedy, it is satirical, but there's also a lot more like family and feels and more of a dramedy than I was expecting. And so once I got my mind right on that, because going into the movie, I had a certain expectation, but once I got my mind on it, I actually was happy that it steered more into that. And it is just such a good family drama that just happens to have a little bit of satire and comedy. 10 out of 10. It was really good. And again, I can't commend the movie, the cast more.
What I have to say, and I know some people didn't like it for this reason, but like it shifts in tone a lot. Like it goes from being a very serious family drama to all of a sudden him being in one of his meetings, which goes just like not slapstick comedy, but just so over the top. And this guy is dealing with this, going back and forth from basically trolling these people and trying to get out of something to dealing with his own personal tragedy. It's like a nuance of, life.
I heard comparisons to World's Greatest Dad.
I have never seen that movie, so I cannot tell you.
But I do think this isn't. I think it's an AJ movie for certain.
Yeah, I think
it's an AJ movie.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
So number 8, very, very lighthearted one. Nostalgic, but in the best way, and the best one of these movies in a long time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Oh,
Punch.
wow.
Punt.
I'm so excited to see that movie.
It's great. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it soon.
And take everything Mike just said and just go the complete opposite direction, because my number 8 is Skinamarink.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it.
Don't watch it. Dark experimental horror film. I mean, it's wild, it's weird to think about. It's my interpretation of it is that this is the night terror of a child with a concussion. It's from that child's point of view is what I think the movie is. I've heard, purgatory from other people, hell from others, just what's being like to be a child, like having a nightmare. There's so much. It's weird. There's a $15,000 movie that made $2 million. Love to hear those stories. Fucking Skinamarink. Don't watch it. It's terrible. I love it.
Skinamarink, top 10.
It should be preserved as a piece of art in the National Film Registry. It's terrible. Mike, do not watch Skinamarink.
I won't.
It is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with 133 reviews.
Wow,
but it has a much less lower audience score.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you never just say, I'm gonna watch Skinamarink.
You know what I'm gonna do? Watch Skinamarink.
All right, Juice is up. Bum Juice.
Oh, it's just a punt, Barbie.
Okay, 7 is Barbie. All right, so you're 7.
Oh, we can talk about your punt now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
Punt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. Too.
Well, we're punting again.
This one is I think it's already been punted. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves.
Yes, because I had that in at 10. Anyone have it higher?
Do you have it?
That's are we at 6 or 7 right now?
7.
7? Yep. One higher.
Okay.
Okay. So wow.
And
It's
AJ?
gonna go quick. I think we have a lot of the same movies.
Or
Or no, yeah. Oh yeah, then yeah.
We're friends. It makes sense.
My number 7 is Blackberry. Blackberry.
That is the top movie I wanted to see and have not seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It's the evil product movie. It's it's like the evil version of Tetris and Air. It's awesome. Like Glenn Howerton is a phenomenal scumbag. And
is anyone surprised? Have you watched Always Sunny?
But in a different way. It's the real story of like just
Dennis.
the tech industry being terrible. It's so good.
Yeah, it's on AMC Plus, which we don't have. Like I was waiting. It never showed at a theater by us. It never went to one of the streaming ones, and now it's on AMC Plus. I'm like, could you just go to Netflix or Amazon or something already?
Yeah. Apparently, though, we can get a free trial of it, so maybe we'll have to do that to watch it.
But yeah, that's my number one that I missed out on that I want to see.
It's so good. Okay.
Yeah, Juice. Number 6.
We're at one of the first of the movies on my list. Well, I guess that's technically not true. Take that back. One of the few movies on my list, or actually in general, that I saw in theaters this year. And I saw it yesterday, The Iron Claw.
It's on my honorable mentions. Because of what I said at the beginning with like, what do I want to watch again? I loved Iron Claw, but I can't put myself through that again right away.
Yeah.
Honorable mention, very great film, impeccable acting, but really depressing.
Yeah,
my
AJ.
most anticipated.
It's phenomenal.
I will probably never watch it again, but for just what it was and what it did, and compared to a lot of the other movies this year, had to go there. I don't even really necessarily want to talk about it because you can't really talk about it without talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, spoilers.
I mean,
we know what happened.
I will.
You know the story, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Like the real life.
I only like it, and I only like it I probably liked it more than. So I didn't know anything about it really going in. Or I didn't know what movie I was going to see. My friends were like, "We're going to go watch the Iron Claw, the Zac Efron wrestling movie." I'm like, "Cool." And then as we're watching it, and I start hearing their names, I'm like, "Those names are familiar."
Right.
Wait a second. I remember Jacob Whitney been telling me about this family. Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brain switched, and reacting to my friends is like things started to happen, and they were like, "Oh."
So going off of what William and Jonathan said, like. I knew the story going in. I'm very well familiar with the Von Erichs. For that reason, the things that happened through most of the movie, I knew what was going to happen. So yes, it was, tough to watch, but I knew it was going to happen. It was the very last scene of the movie that was like, oh, that's when I got punched in the chest.
Yeah, the very last scene is what
AJ's just going to be a puddle of tears.
Oh yeah. My buddy and I are just like, are you ready to go and cry?
So, for anybody, if you've seen Iron Claw, I've seen it before. I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago. There is a documentary on the family. It's if you have Peacock, it's on WWE Network. It's the history of WCCW, which is the wrestling league that the father ran, and basically it goes over the entire family history. It's like 75% of that documentary is based on the Von Erich family.
Here's a question. To make it a little more lighthearted, because again, it's a pretty devastating subject material and movie. Zac Efron, did he wear prosthetics in his face, or did he just do something to his face?
It looked really weird, yeah.
Because I was like, that's not what his face looks like. And I know he obviously bulked up his body for the role. So in bulking up his body, did he bulk up his face? Maybe. How does one change their face?
I think there was a lot of makeup for sure.
I think it had to be makeup and prosthetics, right? I don't know.
Tonight's stream sponsored by Jazzercise. By the way, Jake Yakavetta donated $10 saying, "I don't hate you, Bethany. You didn't make me shave my beard for your wedding." But
then why are you torturing me? Okay, here we go. Ugh, Zach Prescott says, "Yeah, here we go."
Yeah, here we go.
Nasty. Yeah, Iron Claw, very good movie. Very sad.
It was on my
Sad.
list until I thought about it with doing the rankings on the criteria I had, and I can't put it on the list with that criteria that I gave myself. But it was number 10 until I came up with that
What are
criteria.
we on 6? My 7 got punted, right?
Yes, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 6. Speaking of movies that made me unreasonably sad for some reason, I have Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
It's going to be a baby punt for me.
Baby punt. Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
A baby punt.
We'll wait to discuss in a moment then.
I don't think anybody else is going to have my number 6 because I know a lot of people were disappointed by this one. But for me, this was one of the movies that made me super excited when I saw it and made me even more excited to see part 2 of it. And that's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it.
So, I liked the part where they went vroom, vroom. But the rest of it was, you're punting a baby. But the rest of it was a little long for me.
So I will agree with that. It was a long movie, but again, it's Tom Cruise doing Tom Cruise ridiculous level stunts. Everybody knew what the big stunt was because of the trailer, and I was kind of at one point. I even said to Bethany, like, "When's he going to do that?" And
in a very serious moment of the film, he turns to me and he goes, "When is he going to go vroom vroom on the motorcycle?"
But the best part is the jump itself. Everybody knows what it is. How the jump resolves is what made me super excited. So,
chat's going crazy.
Is this the best Mission Impossible movie? No. But did I have a whole hell of a lot of fun watching it? Absolutely. So, yeah, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I know I'm higher than most, but it's on there.
Things that go boom boom.
So,
okay, what is your number 6?
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
We finally get to talk about it. Talk about
so
fun
good.
movies.
This was the pleasant surprise of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Who expected a movie about Dungeons and Dragons to be this much fun?
It was fun. It was very fun.
It was so great. The cast is amazing. It had the sense of humor that it needed to.
Yeah.
From people who know Dungeons and Dragons and know Dungeons and Dragons humor, but know how to communicate that to a wider audience. It was perfectly done. There's no other way to do this movie.
Absolute perfectly cast.
Yo, the Bard scene where like the distraction scene was melted. Like, oh my god.
This is like a good throwback action comedy. Like I feel like
it's an 80s movie.
Marvel has like dominated that field for so long. We haven't gotten a lot of new blood. And I know obviously this is an existing IP, so it's not like it's a completely original concept, but it felt really fresh and it felt really original, even though technically it is based on something that is a well-known entity.
Fucking Jonathan, bro.
Oh, that's Jonathan.
There are so many good, like honestly, it's so good.
I think
skeletons,
this is the movie I
want to go rewatch Dungeons and Dragons right now.
I think this is the movie that will make you smile the most, beginning to end. That or Ninja Turtles. Like it's a toss up between those two.
I don't like Michelle Rodriguez, and I liked Michelle Rodriguez in this movie. Like that is how good this movie was. People that I'm usually like, oh, I can't even stand you in movies. I was like, I'm enjoying you.
Yeah, this was also the movie that the main movie that I watched in the hospital. Like I ended up watching it twice, and it was the thing that cheered me up the most. Wow. Oh my god! So this movie is always going to be tied to like a good memory, of just being in a dark place and having it lift me up. So, so good. I love this movie.
I wish more people had seen it. Like this is one I hope it expands and I get a sequel because this is the movie that really who wouldn't like this?
Yeah, I want more.
My sister made my mom watch Game Night because I was watching this movie too, which always helps.
Yeah.
By the way, Jake donated another $10, saying I feel like I should only be paying $5 for these since Mike is helping her kill the bottle.
Listen here, sir, to a good cause. We are getting juices for a new house out of this.
And
halfway through.
Bethany, you're about to be so mad. You donated another $10 because you don't like Michelle Rodriguez.
I said what I said, and I don't regret it. Okay, I don't. I can't think of another movie where I'm like, "Oh, so happy to see her." It was the only time I enjoyed her. No offense, all you Michelle Rodriguez fans out there.
By the way, I misremembered the story. I was watching Dungeons and Dragons, and I sent them home and told them to watch Game Night, so they both watched it. So they both experienced. How could that ever be profitable for Frito-Lay? The first time, while I was like, because of Frito-Lay products.
Bum juice.
Okay. 5. So my 5 is the Turtles.
Nice.
Yay! We can talk about the
Is that what we're talking
turtles.
So I watched it today.
I'm getting killed on last
About-
week.
Yo,
About
Turtles
5 hours
was-
ago.
First off, the first thing with Turtles, the animation style, so cool.
So cool. I love it. So good. Second of all, the runtime, best runtime of 2023. More movies, listen up. Get it. Give me a 90-minute film, okay? It's too bloated. I'm done with this 3.5 hours bullshit. Give me 90 minutes. Tell your story. If you can't tell a story in 90 minutes, you shouldn't be a filmmaker. Thank you. Good day.
And also, like a lot of movies recently, like the Turtles did the actual Turtles like origin story, which hasn't been really done in a long time, and they didn't have to go to Shredder right away, which made me happy. Like they certainly hinted to him, but the fact that they were able to get their story out and not use Shredder yet, it's like yes, they're going to have to make a sequel because you can't do this series without Shredder. So
it's just so cute and funny and heartwarming, and the voice actors are all great. Like you really just believe. Like I don't know. Like sometimes it's going to sound dumb, but like for instance, the like serious Michael Bay, whatever. Like you don't believe that those are obviously. It's essential disbelief it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like they felt like a group of teenagers that have been raised together, like just the camaraderie and just I don't know, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, some cool stuff.
By the way, can we do a quick shout out for the instinct to make April O'Neil a teenager so it's not creepy?
Yes, absolute shout out to that. Loved that. Love April O'Neil in this movie.
it was the girl from the bear, right?
Yeah,
Oyster,
she is fantastic. She's having a great year. And yes, so good.
And just like the well-known actors who had the smaller, like you could tell Paul Rudd was like, "You don't need to pay me. I'll do that. That sounds like an awesome day," you know?
Yeah, right. Because they probably in total spent 2 or 3 days in the studio. That was it.
It taught me a lot about geography. Just can you pull up the map, please?
Yes.
You'll see Mount Everest right outside New York City. Yeah, see, right there it is, New York, and then right over there is where Mount Everest is, 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really fun, really fun. I'm glad. Yeah, it was. Because I'm sure some of those guys were from like either comics or the '80s show, but some of them were probably just original monsters too, or just created.
Most of those were in the original cartoon and the comics, and because like that toy line was monstrous. Like the amount of toys you could have had.
Yeah.
Back in the late 80s and early 90s, it was insane the number of toys you could have had.
Yeah. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, y'all. Let them be fun. And it was fun. It was great. Didn't take itself too seriously. Great soundtrack, great animation. Wonderful.
All right, you're up for your number 5.
It's going to be punted. My number 5 was Air.
Punt.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, of the 2023 of all these, like, this is how these are made things. I think whichever one you like best is whichever one you saw first. Because then every other one you're comparing. So, like, Juice saw Tetris, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it's just whichever one I feel like you saw first. And we happen to see Air first, so, yeah.
So, my number 5 was mentioned already, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oops.
So, I think it's... So, yeah.
That was my 6. So, yes.
Yeah, so my... personal opinion was this was my favorite superhero movie of the year by far. I didn't have anything else even in the same conversation as it. Even the few that I didn't like a lot of them this year, and the ones that I did like were not the best. But Guardians just hit in a different way than most of either the MCU or the DCEU have in a long time.
Yes.
Great storytelling, more heart than, I don't know, probably since, well, I guess Spider-Man, but with the exception of No Way Home, since Endgame. Like, there was no other movie that like really hit you the way it did. Rocket becoming the main character was a wonderful, direction to go in. And the movie, sure, it was tough to watch at times, 100%. I agree with that. But the overall, the movie as a whole was one of the more enjoyable movies for me, in that it was a major blockbuster that was what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy stan. The first one caught me off guard because I was not super familiar with the Marvel comics that it is obviously based on. Thought it was an absolute masterpiece. Probably one of my most like rewatched Marvel films is the original Guardians. I'm a complete defender of the sequel. I know a lot of people didn't like it as much as the first one, or didn't like it at all, including my husband, who's not the biggest fan. But I love the sequel. And I think the third one brought it home. I did have a minor complaint with the ending, which is the only reason why it isn't higher on my list. But overall, great film. I cried a lot more. I cried a little bit. Like, I got a little bit misty-eyed in the, I almost said in the car. I got a little misty-eyed in the theater. And then for some reason on the drive home, just started crying, thinking about it. And that's when I knew that clearly it meant a lot to me. And yeah, I love Rocket really getting to shine in this one. And little baby Rocket was so cute, even though really terrible sad things happened to him. And yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think I'm just a big proponent of the Guardians films. And I think overall, it was a very pleasant conclusion for what will be the last like true Guardians movie. I know some of the characters obviously are going to show up again. They've already said as much at the end of this film. But this will be the last time we get to see the whole gang together. And just again, the soundtrack is so good. I loved how, we started kind of with 70s music. Then the sequel obviously was very 80s heavy. This one obviously was very 90s heavy. The beginning with Creep also was just phenomenal. And then the very last song of this one goes in the 2000s to show like and I just like, I don't know, it's such a stupid little thing, but so brilliant, and just shows like the little, I don't know, care that they put into these movies.
Yeah. For live action superhero movies, it was by far the best this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, AJ.
So I have bottoms. Bottoms.
Not seen, and I want to so badly.
It is the movie that I think you guys would like the most of any of the stuff I haven't seen on my list.
I think it'd make my top 10 if I had seen it.
Rachel Senotte is basically doing like a Jonah Hill and Superbad. Ayo Edebari is just amazing and sensitive in this movie. It's heartfelt. It's hilarious. This movie is probably the movie that, like, it's between that and D&D, for which made me laugh more. It's like right up there. And Marshawn motherfucking Lynch.
Yes, I've heard.
Oh my God. When he says, men need therapy. The best line. I put it on group chat, so I'm sorry I spoiled that part, but I already did, so I'm repeating it. Sorry.
We've known.
Best line delivery of the year, bar none. It's like just on another plane of existence. Bombs is awesome. And also respects the runtime.
Nice.
Yes. We love that.
Doesn't overstay its welcome.
For
3 acts, 90 minutes.
We love that.
Boom. Moving on to the number 4 for Juice.
Thank God, we're already at 4. Wow.
My 4 is my favorite superhero movie of the year, which I think might be others because it's not live action, it's animated, and it's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Also number 4.
Mine also. Hey! 3 right time.
Nice.
4.
Haven't seen it, but Jake Yacovetta donated $10. Don't drink yet, Bethany, because he says Bethany can take a break on this one. Mike has to do the husbandly duty and take one for the team.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that.
It's almost gone.
We're almost there. Take a big gulp for me, please. Thank you. We're so close. Yes, can't we talk? Okay. Also, just saying, going back to Turtles for a minute. That Turtles doesn't exist if the original, Spider-Man,
Into the
Into the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Thank you. I don't know why I can think of the title. Wasn't as successful as it was. I love that these movies are amazing and doing so good. It's crazy to me that Sony is making the best superhero movies right now. Who would have thunk? Like, what year is it? You know, like, did we go back to like 2004? Anyways, here they are making the best superhero movies of the current age. And again, that one comes out as such a hit, and the sequel really lived up to it. The animation style is so cool. The soundtrack is amazing. There's just everyone is bringing their A game. It's funny. There's feelings. There's suspense, and just kudos to all those involved. Just absolutely killing it.
With my thought on this too was animation is like, I don't know that I've ever seen anything as beautifully animated as this movie. Like, this is, especially for a mainstream movie,
like, takes my eyes a few minutes to adjust though every time I watch one of these, because I'm just like,
this was my favorite theater experience of the year for a specific reason. We both knew that this was a part one.
yes.
The bulk of our theater did not
know.
And that reaction when it was a to be concluded was phenomenal to be there for. Go.
I didn't either. I mean, I watched it like 2 weeks ago, but I didn't either, or a week ago. I watched it after the stream last week. Anyways,
Okay.
So I didn't either, but I'm sitting there watching the runtime, and I'm like, "There's 8 minutes left. There's so many plot points. I'm like, this movie's terrible. There's so many plot points to fill up. We haven't seen this guy in a while. This thing, 8 minutes, and there's credits too. And then it comes up, and I'm like, oh.
That crowd reaction was really fantastic. And I liked Into the Spider-Verse. I am more times than not, when you have a trilogy of movies and they're all good, I almost always like the second one the best. And I have a hunch, we obviously have to see how this concludes, but if Beyond happens to top this, I will be surprised. I will be pleasantly surprised, but I have a gut feeling this is going to be my favorite of the trilogy. But even if it's 2/3 as good as this one was, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse really surprised me. I remember seeing the trailers for that and being like, wow, that looks really interesting. And then it started getting really good reviews. We saw it pretty early on into its run, but I don't think we went
we didn't go on like a Thursday night. Yeah.
And I was really blown away with it. And I obviously, the sequel coming out, I had expectations. Like, the last time I didn't have expectations. Now I was like, I know that you can be a good movie. Don't disappoint me. And sequels are hard to do. And I feel like it really, like, not only was as good, but I think potentially topped Into. Yeah. So yeah,
and that's not a knock on Into.
Right. Phenomenal film, but like, this was so just, it was just so good. So good.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I liked the first one a decent amount, but wasn't in love with it. I think part of it was so many like the side characters were just very like really obscure references, whereas this movie had more like actual like characters I knew. We finally got Ben Reilly Spider-Man. You can see right there that I've owned that toy since I was about 2 years old. I'll pull it closer.
You and Koi Jean are the only two
like,
Ben Reilly fans in the world.
But it was did a good job of where I think the first one was just all like modern Spider-Man references, which I don't get. I only get old Spider-Man references.
This one had everything.
This one had a little bit more of the older, which I like. So, yeah, that's all you have to do to sell me on Spider-Man.
Yeah, wonderful movie. And another movie that's like a few of them on my list this year, which are weird, that like you could be 7 or 77 and still enjoy it the same, which there's not enough of those kind of movies. And there were a few this year. And we get to later in my list, there's one that like is going to be really, really like that. So.
Well, since we all did our number 4, AJ. What's yours?
Oh, yeah.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Oh, honorable mention. It's such a good film and so underappreciated. More people should have gone and seen it. So good.
I just absolutely, you know me, anything sentimental, you crush me. And the performances were amazing. The young actress who played Margaret was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Kathy Bates, oh my God, Kathy Bates, we love you. And just every element of it. I mean, it's the story of. I mean, there's a reason that book has been popular for 50 years. It just seeing in live action realized and did a really great job being a period film. 70s. Anyways, sorry. Clip that out.
Lego, get on it.
Get on it. A period film in so many different ways.
Fuck. It's I mean, a movie that means so much for women and girls. I know for that story, but it means so much for anybody who's ever been a fucking 13-year-old kid.
It is the ultimate like coming of age story. Like it has been, again, yeah. The book obviously is still in wide circulation. So many women, including myself, learned a lot about becoming a woman from reading that book, and it was so nice. I went and saw it with my mom, and it was just such a lovely like mother-daughter afternoon experience to get to go see it on the big screen.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh.
They did. That was so good. Like a period film. He's the one of us that hasn't been drinking Wild Irish Rose, and he made that point.
Yeah, I am stone cold sober.
Stone cold sober. I, on the other hand, feel like I'm on fire right now. My cheeks are so warm.
Me too.
What is this? Can
reasons.
someone explain the science behind why bum wine makes you so warm? It really does.
Oh, the bum wine rabbit.
Because it's part kerosene.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Well, Wild Irish Rose. If I find Thunderbird, which is the worst tasting one, oh my God.
Oh,
okay, so the puppy deserves.
Puppy's getting a snack.
He does deserve a
Guys,
snack.
The puppy deserves a snack.
I hope the puppy get a snack.
Oh,
Hey, there you go.
puppy.
Juice number 3.
What's your number 3?
Three.
That was a great pick, though, AJ. Excellent pick. Great.
My number 3 is a movie that I saw half of it in theater, and the other half.
That is. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Other way, Killers of the Flower Moon is my number 3. You knew if a Martin Scorsese film came out in a given year, it was going to make the top 10.
Yeah, but I mean that's not a surprise at all, knowing you.
Yeah.
Juice?
So
What do
I
you
had to
think?
go up there.
The top 10.
But yeah,
Exactly.
not my favorite Scorsese movie by any stretch of the imagination. But that just shows how deep his catalog is.
Mm-hmm.
And again, kind of like the Iron Claw, not something that I think this film is, in the grand scheme of things, unbelievably much sadder than the Iron Claw. So that kind of helped, I think, prepare me in a ways. And so that's why, it's not Goodfellas. It's not even like The Irishman, which also 3.5 hours long and not the biggest fan of, but just an important story, a story that needed to be told. I'm glad that I have experienced the story and know it. I don't want to revisit it, but it still was extremely well made, well acted. There's going to be a lot of Oscars for it, and has to make the top 3.
Nice.
Fair enough.
I can't wait to watch it. Well, I can wait until I can't pay $20 to rent it.
It's going to be on Apple TV at some point.
Yep, but I'm super hyped.
I'm ready for Jake to put in this next Streamlabs so I can just kill it.
Yeah, don't be doing that for free, my dude. Wait till we get paid. Wait till we get paper.
Okay, so Jake just okay. My goal was for the that bottle to be gone in under an hour. So go ahead and kill that shit with a double donation.
Thank you, Jake. And Juice's friend appreciates you.
So because I bought a ticket to watch the whole movie, it's okay that I illegally streamed the second half, right?
There you go.
100%. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's gone.
Hey, since you did it, that means I can. We hear what the show do not condone.
Pirating. No, but I mean, if one of the 4 of us spent money on the movie, then
I had to finish it before the.
I'm gonna
before
pull
the
Jair
list.
Alexander. I'm the captain now.
Currently, it's on Apple Plus in January, so don't have to wait too much longer.
Yeah.
Nice.
My number 3. I debated on this one. I thought, do I want to put this on the top 10 list? Does this count? And then I thought, fuck yeah, it does. And honestly, it'd be number 1, but it's number 3 for this reason. Because it isn't technically a movie, and because seeing it in the theaters was my second time seeing it. Nothing's going to beat seeing it live, obviously. But I will say by far, my favorite theatrical experience of the year. And of course, that is Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. It was released in movie theaters. It was technically a movie. So yes, I put it on my top 10. Phenomenal. Need I say more? But again, just to reiterate, the theatrical experience, our theater, because we live in the dark ages for some odd reason in Savannah, does not have reserved seating. Okay. So I had to Phantom Menace this shit. I had to show up and wait in a line, a proper line. I would just like to give mad props to all the theater workers that worked that weekend. I'm sure it was stressful hours. But they really knocked it out of the park. They had only one door you could enter in. There was one guy at the front taking things, handing out the posters. They very, clearly marked where you had to enter to wait in line. I waited in line, waiting to get my seat. There we were trading the friendship bracelets. We were all talking, complimenting each other's outfits. At one point, I turned to my friend Michael Lamb. Literally, my mom came up from Florida. My friend came down from South Carolina. So we had 3 different states being represented to go see this. And I turned to my friend Michael Lamb and I said, men ain't shit. They could never do this. Look at this beautiful woman solidarity. Look at this great thing. The first time ever in our movie theater that I've seen a sold out show. There we were in the Big D, everyone. We all love the Big D.
The Big D.
The Big D, baby. I've seen
we
the
all
Big
need
D.
the Big D in our lives.
And it was amazing. Everyone applauded when we got let in. Just the camaraderie. Everyone singing at the top of their lungs. 7-year-olds dancing in circles at the front. 7-year-olds belting out High Infidelity like they've been scorned by a lover at the age of 7. Love it. Great. Adorable. It was everything. Also, again, I was in the peasant seats when I saw it live. So certain things oh, she's wearing a necklace, or, oh, that's what that microphone looks like. So nice to see up close and personal. Getting to see some people that didn't get the opportunity to see it live and their reactions to certain things. The guy that was sitting next to us, didn't have a chance to see it, was a super big fan. He was really fun to interact with. So again, it was the interactions, it was the camaraderie. It was just a beautiful year to be a woman. I was talking to my friend the other day, go Lions. I was talking to my friend the other day about just 2023. I understand in the world, there's been a lot of scary, bad things and it hasn't been the best, but overall it was just such a great year for me, I feel and there are so many things, again, we're this movie and we're going to talk about my number 1 movie, that I was hot damn, if men feel like this all the time, no wonder they're in charge of everything. Because God, it just felt great to be a woman this year. I felt so powerful and great and I loved it. And I got to be one of my childhood heroes this year. So anyways, I'm babbling on about things that are not movie related, but just to say, if you didn't get to experience the Eras Tour film, that opening weekend, it just, I can't describe how great the atmosphere was. Okay, that is all.
So my number 3 is actually something just the exact opposite, but in a good way. A movie that was not released, and for me,
Sound of Freedom.
No, yeah, right. No, but movie that did not get released theatrically, and I think for the first time ever, a documentary has made my top 10, and that is still the Michael J. Fox story, which is
that's in my honorable mention.
The most heartwarming. It's such a sad story of what happened in his life, but the way that he tells it, and he's still here as the one to tell it, and is telling it with such an optimistic point of view, even after everything he has been through. This movie rules. If you want to sit down and watch something that you're going to just come out feeling it's a lot of emotions that coming out of it, but it's done in such a heartwarming way, even though so much of what happens is so, it's oh my Lord, you see him fall over a couple times and his handlers have to pick him up and he's trying to deal with things like that. Everyday life is difficult for him, but he tells his life story and goes through everything he went through. And he does it with the Michael J. Fox charm and the wit and he's telling jokes about his own life when it's kind of fucked up stuff. And it's just such a wonderful watch that I there was no way I was not going to include this.
Him and his wife are 100% relationship goals. Love them. What a great relationship.
If you have not
10.
seen this documentary and you don't have Apple Plus and you can get the free trial, it is worth the free trial for. Or if you have to buy Apple TV for a month, do it for this and Ted Lasso. And it's so I was talking about something because she knew I was putting it on. I'm like, I kind of want to watch this again, like now.
It's very good. It's in my honorable mentions. It probably would have made my top 10 in any other year, but like I said, it was some strong contenders this year.
Yeah,
but it was very good.
Highest of recommendations. If you have not watched it, go and watch that because it's so wonderful.
My
Sold.
backlog is so extensive. By the way, Jake, this isn't gonna happen. I'm sorry, buddy, but he said now to the MD 2020. 5 second chugs from each of you. 5 second chugs from each of you since AJ isn't drinking.
I'll 5 second chug it, I guess, but it's not getting finished.
Whew.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I ain't 5 second checking this.
Well, it's a good thing. Hey, that makes me so happy to hear.
So speaking of bum wine,
This is a win.
Oh my lord! Oh,
Ooh,
you're just trying to kill me, guys.
That's a fantastic win right there.
That makes my heart happy.
So speaking of bum wine, number 3, they cloned Tyrone. Holy shit! Now this is the thing. You tell people the title of this movie, they think, "Ooh, this is gonna be some funny, crazy." No, this is probably one of the most hardcore black sci-fi stories since Sorry to Bother You. It's ridiculously well acted. John Boyega is phenomenal. I still legitimately think if there was a fair shot in the Oscars, like Jamie Lee. Why can't I say his name? Jamie Foxx.
Peter Sutherland?
Jamie Foxx.
24. Represent.
Kiefer Sutherland is in this, but Jamie Foxx should be in the running for Best Supporting Actor for this movie. It's insanely good. Go in with no expectations. Just expect someone who's beautifully shot, well acted, tells a great, poignant story from Black voices. It's insanely good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Is it streaming somewhere?
It was a Netflix exclusive. It didn't go to theaters.
Oh, okay, so it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
okay.
All right.
Yep.
Noted.
Jewel Taylor. I'm watching whatever Jewel Taylor does next as a director. It's so good.
Juice, you ready with your number 2?
So this is kind of a surprise for me. This is actually one of the first movies I started in my watch because I organize things by length. And I am a big fan of the first one of these.
Okay.
And I very much enjoyed the second. I enjoyed the third. So I wasn't necessarily it didn't have necessarily super high expectations for the fourth, but I still wanted to see it. And holy cow, was I blown away by John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have not seen a single John Wick film to this day. Crazy. I know.
I was like, holy cow, John Wick 4, 170 minutes. Why is that necessary? That's so dumb. And I'm sure it probably could have been shorter. But no, it keeps you interested and engaged the whole entire time. And there's always something going on. And the action is just so good that when it's taking place, you're fully invested. You're fully invested in multiple characters. And it has just a nice ending. I don't remember what the ending is, but I remember it being nice. And it's just a great time. But yeah, and Donnie Yen as basically is Chirrut Imwe from Rogue One. It's basically the same character, except slightly villainish and wears sunglasses and doesn't have the Force. But he's basically Daredevil. They basically Daredevil is one of the villains. It's fantastic. And
I remember listening to the game Flea Unemployed on this one, just like, why do they keep on making this motherfucker blind?
yeah, yeah.
By the way, Jake just made an even 100 for me saying Jamie Lee Fox. Love you, Jake. And
thank you, Jake. Very, very nice of you. We appreciate you.
I'm
We'll have another Sigma MD 2020 for your generosity this evening.
Oh, can do that with JT on the air. Damn it.
Oh.
But I enjoyed like the cyberpunky like music and stuff that was playing. That's always like gives you kind of a Blade Runner vibe, like neon lights, and throw neon lights. I don't care if the movie's 2.5 hours. I'll watch it and be happy. Neon lights and synth
The
music.
score in those movies is phenomenal for all of them. It's an underrated thing with that.
I have a guess that Bethany and I had the same number 2.
Yeah, baby, the holdovers.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
welcome,
fun.
boomers,
The
for getting
Holdover.
brought to our theater. It was so good, y'all. You know, I'm a sucker for a good coming of age story. It was such a good coming of age story. It was such a good period piece, AJ.
Never gonna hear that the same again.
Yeah, but Paul Giamatti, just so good. Just the whole thing.
Heroes list.
All the side characters, like every character in this movie, like serves a purpose. Like they're not just there to be there. Like they have full, like they could be. Every character in this movie could be the main character in the movie. You know what I mean?
Divine. What a performance she put in.
So good, so moving. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll feel like the holiday feels. It just is just such a good throwback like style film. I feel like
it's a movie that captivates you from beginning to end. Like there are no dull moments in this movie. Like everything happens in this movie for a reason. Like this is the correct runtime for this movie.
Yeah, the pacing is good. The story is good.
Paul Giamatti is fantastic in this role. You know, salute.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl. Exactly.
What I really, really, really liked about this movie, though, was just how much heart it had. Because it had your 3 primary characters, and each of them having separate motivations and then growing to appreciate each other. And it felt like a community building kind of thing.
It's got a good, like, it's such a good throwback film in the sense that, like, I feel like we're finally starting to allow people to be sentimental again. But I feel like for the longest time, it was like not cool to let true sentimentality. Like you couldn't let a sentimental moment like sit in a movie. It was like, we got to hit him with a joke. We got too sentimental. We got him with a joke.
And they did it, but in a different way.
They like let things be sentimental. Like we're allowed to have some sentimentality and in a good way. Like I miss that about movies. Like just being able to sit in that for a minute.
Oh, God, I can't wait. There's so many. My backlog is so huge.
It hits Peacock on
so
Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah, it'll get you in the feels, but also will make you laugh a lot. Like it is just, it's great.
And Paul Giamatti is I understand that he's not outright the front runner right now, but if I had a vote, he would get my vote for Best Actor. Divine by far is the best supporting actress. Like I don't even think anybody else is close in my comparison. She deserves that award so much. This is going to be a movie I probably watch every year at Christmas time. It's going to be a yearly watch. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, I know it didn't make a lot of money. If you have not seen it, yes, it hits Peacock this upcoming Friday. Make sure you all watch it. It's wonderful.
By the way, I just want to say thank you, Alexander Payne, for making good movies again, because as the only Nebraska filmmaker, apparently, a lot of our identity depends on you, and downsizing was booty.
Yeah.
Fair enough. AJ, what's your number 2?
Sympathy for the Devil. Yes, the movie that when you watch the trailer, we're just doing Collateral, but the hitman this time is the devil, and the devil is Nick Cage, and Nick Cage is attempting a Philly accent. That movie.
That's what sold AJ. Prestige actor doing a silly little voice.
It's more than that. This movie is phenomenal. It's actually very good.
I don't even know what this is. I don't know what this is.
So that's what the trailer will tell you it is. Joel Kinnaman gives a fucking phenomenal, just insane performance. Has a great turn as the lead in this. Nick Cage does have his Nick Cage isms, but actually creates a really cool sympathetic character. But yeah, it was a cool, a small movie. It's mainly in the car. You can tell it's kind of a pandemic production because it's very contained.
Still shot.
Yes, that hair. I watched that movie and I felt like I was getting off of a thrill ride and basically said, I want to do it again. And so I watched it twice in one night.
Nice.
This movie fucking rules.
Very nice. So
great third action set piece.
Do you want to hear Jeff Alterman's review of it?
Yes, please.
Oh god.
Is that even a question?
Solid. I told him to watch this.
Nice. Solid little thriller that works thanks to good straight man work from Joel Kinnaman and especially from another gonzo performance by Nicolas Cage, who can't seem to figure out when he's doing a Boston accent, a Christopher Walken impression, or just classic Rage Cage yelling. It drags a bit despite its short runtime, but it's entertaining enough.
It's the people of Philly that do it wrong. I mean, truly, what do the people of Philly know? You know?
It's so
all right, so let's do our honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions before we do number one. I already mentioned, I think, most of mine. Still, it's definitely on there. Are You There, God Is Me, Margaret? It's definitely on there. Cocaine Bear.
Mithrigan's on mine.
Oh, yeah, Mithrigan.
What a great time.
Mithrigan's on mine.
That's probably the show honorable mention.
Yeah, it was tough for me. I considered putting it at 10. That's the other 13. One. When it came down to it, I was like, "Oh, should I put the Thief and Cocaine Bear at 10?"
Did I think that's
Super Mario Bros. Was the highest.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't mentioned. Which I watched today, literally 2-3 hours ago, for the first time.
I think Mithrigan would be
I know it's wild to think about, but it was.
So I think that would be the best watch along for us of any movie this year.
That would be fun. And Mithrigan watch along
because we would be yelling.
Yeah,
I have the one that everyone's going to yell at me for, but I actually liked the movie, and yes, it is He Who Shall Not Be Mentioned, but I have to give an honorable mention to Oppenheimer.
I still really want to see it.
It's good. It's a good movie, and yes, you're making that face, but you said it was a good movie when it came out.
It was good.
It's probably going to get Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor.
It's a little long, but it's good, I guess.
It's long, but shockingly fast paced.
My biggest honorable mention is The Last of Us, episode 3. That counts as a movie.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's it. Oh man, I was just thinking about best TV shows of the year, and I forgot how The Last.
I still never finished it. Finished the game, but I never finished the show.
This year was better than movies. Trust me, I didn't watch any movies.
Didn't watch enough, but I forgot The Last of Us. How could I? So good. That should be. You know what? Put episode 3 in honorable mentions of movie.
The other thing too, before I throw it back, because I don't have any honorable mentions. Bethany, just want to say, want to tag on to your Taylor Swift rant and just say, great year for women in cinema. 3 of my top 5 are girl movies.
Yep.
It was. It's almost like women will spend money at the movies. Wild concept. I know.
And
Hollywood maybe hopefully just woke up to that fact. Let's hope that 2023.
Tell great original stories. Great adaptations
crazy.
Too.
That's wild.
Yeah.
No, it's because it was a Mattel. We just need to keep making toy movies. That's the toy movies.
That's what made it successful.
That's a sketch.
We need Slinky. Yeah.
Yo, I can't wait for Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah. Rock'em Sock'em. That was real steel.
Yo, Uno, but Uno's like Rounders, but it's Uno.
I'll throw a couple more real quick. I will throw Always Lola because it starred one of the reasons that we are even a stream,
Right,
which
Andrew
is
Guy.
Andrew Guy,
Yeah.
Salute.
and Roxy Schreier. Yeah, really good. I mean, honestly, there's not much wrong with it for sure.
It was on my 2022 top 10.
You saw it.
But-
Yeah,
Was
you
it?
saw it came out like limited in 2022. It didn't come out like on.
It can count as
widely-
either 2022 or 2023.
Oh.
It became widely available at home.
I kind of count widely available as like the
Yeah.
actual release.
Skinamarink was a 2022 movie technically as well, kind of a similar thing.
Yeah, I count it for this year, but that was in your top
But
10 of
it's
last
so
year.
good. Yeah, it was so good. It was like 8 or 9. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember.
Don't worry. I don't remember half of this.
But
Uh,
yeah, it's fun. And then what was the other one? I didn't mind. I don't know if anyone else saw Wes Anderson's Asteroid City.
I haven't
I've-
seen it.
Actually, pretty.
once again, backlog.
Yeah, pretty decent. Like
I'm-
it was basically like he took every person that's ever been in one of his movies and put him in this movie. Which I feel like he kind of always does, but just entertaining. Like not like the best thing ever, but just a fun watch.
I'll
Just
give
with the cast
two in that vein. Again, these are not movies I thought were the best of the year, but if you want to say like I went in with low expectations, it's like, oh, that wasn't bad. Elemental.
Oh, Elemental was good. Yes, I like that
And
one.
also shockingly, Transformers: Rise of the Beast was
Not too
better
bad.
than I ever thought
Not
it was
too
going to
bad.
be.
Also, a pretty decent runtime.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give him a.
And the
Shout
short
out
film
to him.
before Elemental, Carl's Date. If it was like that, I enjoyed that so much. That with Carl and Doug from Up. So if you have not watched that, you can find that on Disney Plus. If you want something to watch that's 8 minutes long that will hit you in the feels, watch Carl's Date.
Nice. I will, just because we're big Cobra Kai fans, I will mention Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah.
You know, we
It
wanted
wasn't
to
terrible.
see
It wasn't
it,
terrible.
and
Max.
we didn't.
It was fun.
We'll have to watch it now that it's on streaming.
Yeah, I didn't like
My
the third act, but I
Mm.
liked
My
the
first-
first two.
Mhm.
Or what was that?
My first draft is my number 9. It's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's warm. It's the family
Yeah.
element. It's just amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that from multiple people that the
Yeah,
family aspect of
it's
the
very
movie is
it's
good.
very fun and light. And
All right,
yeah.
Juice, what's your number 1?
What is my number 1? Again, a movie that I would have not expected to be number 1. I wouldn't have gone and saw it in theaters literally 4 days ago if it wasn't for people saying I had to see it. I typically enjoy but don't love this type of movie. But this was definitely an exception, and it's Godzilla -1.
Okay.
I've heard good things. I have
Yeah,
heard
I've
I
good
heard
wanna
things.
so many people tell me I should see it.
It's just honestly like one of the best parts about a Godzilla movie is the message. It was just great, like post
And this is
World War II
Japanese
Japan.
one, right?
Japanese,
So
all
it's
subtitles.
dubbed.
That's why I went and saw
No,
it.
it's
in
it's
theaters.
subtitled. Okay.
I think you can see it dubbed, but it's mostly subtitled.
Subtitled. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just fun, like just post World War II Japan, and then all of a sudden Godzilla shows up. They're already trying to recover from the atom from Oppenheimer, and now they have to worry about Godzilla. So it's just
So you're saying it's double feature Oppenheimer and
I
Godzilla
heard
minus
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Hearing this.
Finally, that was my one complaint about Oppenheimer is we didn't get the Japanese perspective.
too.
You're
Yeah,
saying you
me
do
too.
in Godzilla minus one. I might have to go see it now.
Yeah, very, very good. So it's like, oh man, yeah, it just pulled. It's just hard. I can't say anything because I'm talking to people that haven't seen it, so it's like I don't want to spoil it. But it pulls on your heartstrings. It gets you into it. You care about the humans. That's the thing. Typically, these movies, you're like, get the human out of here. I want to watch
Right,
Godzilla blow stuff
right.
up. But this is like, no, I want the human. I don't want Godzilla to blow stuff up. I want the humans to succeed, and it's really weird.
Wow.
But-
I'm
Yeah,
into
like,
this.
all right.
Juice, you may have sold me. I'm not the best at. I wish I was better at watching subtitled
Subtitles
movies.
are
Dude,
tough.
yeah.
But I will watch them occasionally.
They are tough.
They're very good, and I keep hearing good things. And you putting it number one, and the way you've just described it, I feel like I need to see it.
I will see that.
We'll have to go see Godzilla -1. It's officially on our list of must-sees.
I'm gonna just 100% want to see that. There's a couple other things that are out now that or like maybes, like maybe that's just leapfrog them. I'm gonna jump over Bethany because I know Bethany is gonna have a lot more to say about her number one than I'm gonna say. Mine's been mentioned already. My number one's Air, and for me, Air, for being a 41-year-old person growing up with the entire Michael Jordan story, was like, oh wow, like getting to see this portrayed on screen and with this particular set of actors. Obviously Matt Damon was fantastic, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman in oftentimes stole the show, and then Viola Davis
Viola Davis.
Like, I feel like she's getting overlooked in the awards categories, and maybe it's because the movie came out too early and stuff, but this movie to me just like it hit me in a different way because I lived through it, and knowing the story, and it's kind of like, we were talking about the Iron Claw earlier. The Iron Claw was a tough watch. Air was not. Air was like the movie that's yes, go get it, go do this. It's the product placement movie. Yes, 100%. But like the fist pump of getting them signing Jordan and then Jordan becoming everything they wanted him to be, and because that's what I watched that happen.
It's one of those things. I mean, again, there isn't a day in my life now that goes by where I don't see someone wearing Air Jordans. Like, it's just such a recognizable thing. And yet it's one of those things that like, you kind of know the story of, but you don't really know. Like, I didn't know all the players involved and like how this came to be and whatever. I knew that Converse was a big deal at the time. They were like the basketball shoe. Michael Jordan, of course, like wasn't supposed to be Michael Jordan. And then he turned into Michael Jordan. And then he somehow ends up signing with Nike, and he like makes $1 gazillion. But like the deal, just everything about it, it's a very interesting. It's just, there's so many things about the story that it's like, oh, you think but you don't know, and it just, it was very well done.
Yeah,
just real quick correction. It was LeBron James in Space Jam.
Man, I'd end the stream right now if we could.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick before we start the number one discussion of Bethany.
Okay. Back. So last thing I want to say about Air, just like, again, and I saw it in the chat, and it's like, oh, it's the best dad movie and stuff. And yes, I've kind of reached that age, but 100%, like, this movie is the movie of all the movies this year that I am most likely to be like on a random Saturday afternoon when I have nothing to do, that I will probably put on and watch. So that is why I put that at number one. And it was as simple as that. I came up with this idea for myself for my top 10. And that's not necessarily saying that any of the movies that I mentioned are better or worse than that. It's just the idea I had to rank my movies this year. And I genuinely think of the 2023 movies, Air is the one I'm going to watch the most in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
Totally valid. I mean, there's certain things that I still really want to see that, like, I get the pre-watch jitters of like, I know I'm going to watch this once in my lifetime. It's going to wreck me and I never want to see it again. Zone of Interest is a big one of those. And let's see here. Past Lives, After Sun, Saltburn. There's a lot of movies I'm just like, I know I'm going to watch these once, and I think they're beautiful pieces of art and probably never want to touch them again. It's one of those things I've become like apprehensive. Like, I don't tend to watch those like as first thing right away anymore. It's like I'll get to it when I get to it, when I know I can feel down. And something like, like Sympathy for the Devil, I'll throw on just because, like, hey, oh, fucking awesome.
Hey, Juice. You ever been to Dick's Sporting Goods store and thought, this place is really big?
Bunch of dicks.
Can we all Also, just briefly before Jay and I discuss our number ones, Juice and I had to play each other in the semifinals of fantasy. And Juice beat me. And was I disappointed? Yes. But I was very happy if I was going to go out. At the beginning of this fantasy football season, I made everyone a Ken except for Juice. I said he gave off hardcore Allen energy. So if I was going to lose, I lost to an Allen and not a Ken. He's part of What the family. It is the What the Show League. So we're happy to have someone in What the Show in the finals. So that's all I just give.
And now
Zach Ertz drafting energy.
Yes.
Zach Ertz, which I have had to get the chair for my friend, so the jersey's not on the thing. But
for the finals.
Zach Ertz was injured and dropped, and I did not kick him off my team. I said he is our team captain. He stays. Whether he even has his own team, he's on my team. So there's 1% owns Zach Ertz.
I hope I get
it's
third
me.
place, but we'll see. My
Juice.
tight end is out.
Do you have anything to say to Jacob London?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I've never really. Yeah, I haven't really had too many interactions in general. I think I missed the show when we were on. But yeah, I feel like we haven't. I feel like I try to be like the chaotic neutral of that What the Show chat or of the fantasy football chat. I feel like he's very serious. Every time I kind of throw a funny comment in, he might throw something in, and he's just kind of being serious. And I feel like feel like it's time to reclaim What the Show. We had that phony PJ Campbell win last year.
Yes, what a freaking phony!
To bring the What the Show champion, What the Show fantasy football back home.
Yes,
bring it back.
Never been home. None of us have ever wanted to be the first.
You could be the first.
And
it's backwards.
Will all become possible by my last draft pick, Joe Flacco.
Yes.
That I dropped and then re-picked up, thankfully, because Mike told me to, and I got him.
Yes.
Joe Flacco is going to bring.
I literally like Joe Flacco just got activated. And like you see the message on the Yahoo like 10 seconds later. Joe Flacco has been
added. Oh, it's so good, y'all. You can't make this shit up.
And the thing was, Joe Flacco got picked up. He wasn't even the starter when I told you that. I was just like, Juice, Joe Flacco just got signed. And picked him up immediately.
Jordan Love and Joe Flacco. Who knew they were a great combo?
Who would have that pegged for the
quarterbacks in the final? Jordan Love and Joe Flacco.
Seriously. It may not have been a great week for fantasy, but my Lions, clinching their division. So it was in real football. We had some victories in fantasy football, not so much. So you win some, you lose some. But I'm gonna try to get third place, and hopefully my Lions can
two out of three of What the Show are gonna place.
Yeah, baby. First and third.
The other two sucked so bad.
And 12th and 13th place.
The very bottom will be.
No. Moose got the
Moose is the very bottom. That is fair.
Love you, Moose.
All right, so my turn to talk about my number one. Are we ready? Okay. Oh, sorry.
Same. Just everything you're about to say. Same.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Kens.
I think I got a jacket for Christmas that might be.
You have to put it on.
Conversation.
Obviously, it is Barbie. Barbie is not only the best film of 2023 or my favorite film of 2023, but might be like my favorite film of this decade. Truly. I guess we're only 3 years into this decade, but you know what I mean. Of the last decade, I don't know. Anywho, I had high expectations, y'all. Like, a Barbie film was announced. Greta Gerwig was directing. I saw the trailer, and I was like, I'm going to love this movie. And then sometimes you start getting nervous because you're like, is this going to meet the expectations that I have set for this movie? And it just absolutely surpassed them. It was the dressing up in the pink again, the Eras Tour kind of vibe, going to yes, Juice. So rocking. Juice has got some energy.
I have a dinosaur on my shirt.
It was high expectations. There we were. We were all dressing up in pink. I saw it, and not only did I love it, I loved it so much. We saw it twice in theaters. I can't wait to watch it like all the time now that it's on HBO Max. It was absolutely phenomenal. The cast is great. The soundtrack is great. freaking I'm Just Ken. Come on, Oscars, don't let me down. It is just literally, it's a perfect film in my eyes. Again, I know it's probably not a perfect film in many people's eyes, but it's a perfect film. It's everything I've ever wanted. I grew up playing Barbies. I still love Barbie and all she stands for. I love pink. I just love again, I can't stress enough. I kind of discussed this earlier, but just 2023, like what a great year to be a woman. So happy to see it be the number one film of the year. Again, Hollywood's probably going to take the wrong message and make a Hot Wheels movie and a Slinky movie and all these stupid toy movies. And it's not the thing. It is that women like going and seeing movies and women like hearing their own voices be represented. So please let more women direct things. Please let more women star in things. Please, we will show up. Clearly we showed up for this. Don't let me down, Hollywood. You're going to, but please don't let me down. Thank you and good day. That is my
Barbie World had the best set design of any movie in the fucking season.
Yes. Costumes,
no
set design, soundtrack. Give it all the awards. It was phenomenal. Thank you.
Gosling has my vote for supporting actor.
Juice,
America Ferrera is insanely talented and needs to be in every movie ever.
Yes.
I thought
giving like ski time.
They made a Snyder Bros joke in the movie, which I lost it when that happened.
Mojo Dojo Casa House.
I saw a lot of people saying that Will Ferrell was like pointless in the movie, but like I thought he was really funny.
Yes.
Yeah, like when he can't get over that. I died. I was like the one guy in the theater, but like I died laughing when he like couldn't get over the little, like, security thing, and then they, you know, it was just open in general. But
the fact that they basically used his character to say corporate America is going to love that this movie makes profits, and they're going to completely miss the point.
Yep.
Right.
So the other thing too is like
truly though, that set design. Can we just all
the waves?
The Kens got their Mojo Dojo Casa houses.
Casa?
That's the bum line speaking. and
pink bum line.
The first thing that Gosling Ken got was a Mortal Kombat 1-up, and I was so proud of him.
Oh.
I love how much this movie pissed off certain people. There's everything about this movie. I love you.
Like, how could you be mad at this movie? This movie, yes, it had a message of uplifting people. If you're pissed off at this, well, fuck you. Like, seriously.
You're supposed to feel bad for Ken. That is the point. Anyway, that's a great film.
Oh, the fact that the actual villain, it's not Ken, it's not Will Ferrell, it's the fucking patriarchy as a concept.
It is honestly a fantastic film. I just want to be like, I just want to wear all those outfits. I want to go to Barbie Land. What a dream. What a dream.
I want to see all of the outtake reels of everybody on set breaking at Gosling's deliveries.
Also, like, as a woman who grew up always loving pink and frilly things and girly things and being made fun of, it was just so vindicating this year for that to be like taken seriously, like to show that like femininity is cool and girly things are cool, and for just absolutely dominate. And again, Hollywood's not going to get the right message from that.
Well, the message is that Matchbox 20 is toxic.
Fair.
So you know how Ryan Gosling yells out "sublime"?
Yeah.
He like improv it or whatever. It was funny. This stream should have been called "Sublime Bum Wine."
Missed opportunity. Also, I do want it to be a theme park. Oh my god, I visit that every day.
This bum wine is sublime.
Yo, and I think we've gone through all of our top 10s, but I've got some. I lied. The number one movie of the year once again is Moonfall.
I saw.
We all did it.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
You're a jabroni.
Bye,
Yeah, and then
Ken.
Donald Sutherland just blows